We're told of a fascinating halacha in this week's parsha. The Torah discusses a scenario of an individual who lends money to a person in need, and unfortunately the borrower is in so much need that the item they give as a collateral to the lender is a basic garment that they need to keep themselves warm at night. And it's an interesting dilemma for the lender, because on the one hand, the borrower over the course of the loan really needs his garment back at night. Without that, he'll be terribly cold at night. And on the other hand, once the loan comes due, if the lender would hold on to the garment and just kindly tell the borrower that I'll be happy to return the garment to you once you pay the loan, that would be a great motivation for the borrower to pay up. The lender didn't have to lend the borrower money. It was a kindness with which he lent the borrower money. Is it reasonable to expect the lender to keep on returning the garment to the borrower so that he could stay warm at night when he hasn't yet paid back the loan? And the Torah not only says that, yes, it's incumbent upon the lender to return that garment to the borrower, the Torah also warns the lender that if you don't return that garment to the borrower, essentially woe will be you if this impoverished borrower prays to God through his travails of this terrible poverty, that because of this loan, he doesn't even have something to warm himself with at night. Woe to you that God will punish you for being cruel to this poor person. And it's a very surprising halacha, because the only reason the lender is in this situation in the first place is because they did an act of kindness by lending the money. So why is God looking at the lender who's taking back the garment as being cruel? Why can't God see, or why doesn't God see the lender as having done a beautiful deed? And the Sforno highlights this somewhat surprising dynamic here. And the Sforno says there's a very essential point. And the point is the fact that the relationship began with my kindness does not absolve me of continuing to act with kindness the rest of the way. And that's a very interesting lesson. It's a very interesting lesson for borrowers and lenders, but I think it's a lesson for everything we do in life. We do this all the time. We constantly are assessing ourselves and others, and one of the greatest points of assessment is, what's the dynamic right now? Who's on top? Who's on bottom? Who owes who? Who's being nice? Who's being cruel? And many times, if the beginning of the dynamic is such that we're doing a good thing, then we're Yotze. We've checked the box. We've fulfilled the obligation. And because I began being kind to you, whatever happens afterwards is fair play. And the Sforno says, the Torah is teaching us that's not the case. In a sense, the lesson is that a goal for each and every one of us in life, in all of our interpersonal relationships, is to never just go halfway. If we have the great opportunity to do an act of kindness for someone else, to make sure that every step of the way, beginning to end, we're only being guided by that spirit of kindness, and our souls connect through that warmth and kindness, and it will strengthen our relationship with this person and make us better people and really make the world a better place. Have a wonderful Shabbos.